saying that life finds a way.
In 1983, Michael Crichton wrote a screenplay. It would be about a pteranodon being cloned. But however, he never made the story, but he would use the idea for a new story, and that story was going to be Jurassic Park. He went around exploring the real world. He then knew the idea of a theme park that would work for the story, and so he went out and looked at museums and other places to write his new book and study on these prehistoric animals. Crichton also wrote the book on a child's point of view. He wrote it because he was fascinated by the way children love dinosaurs. So, while Crichton was finished, he wanted to pitch it to the public. But unfortunately, everyone hated it. The public didn't like Jurassic Park, and that was because they thought it was a bit too kid-friendly. Crichton will write more and more Jurassic Park books to rewrite it, but everyone still hated it. However, one person said to Crichton that the main reason why they didn't like it because there weren't any horror. Crichton then rewrote the novel, and then everyone loved it. And so, on November 1990, Jurassic Park was released. The book was a success, and lots of people really were fascinated by the book. That was until film director Steven Spielberg. Michael Crichton and Steven Spielberg were working on a script for the ERBT series, which then, when Steven Spielberg said to Michael Crichton what book he was writing, he talked about Jurassic Park, which interests Steven Spielberg. And so, he pitched the idea to Universal before the book was even published. There were going to be many changes to the original Jurassic Park script, such as, in the Michael Crichton book, there was a T-Rex river raft scene, which was eventually not used for the film, but will later on be used in the Universal Studios ride. There was also going to be a scene at the ending where the raptors would be killed by the skeletons, but Steven Spielberg thought that the T-Rex would be included. Another ending will be when the characters leave the island and get into the helicopter. The T-Rex chases the helicopter. And then there was going to be Ray Arnold's death, which was going to be very different, which we'll get a scene where Ray Arnold actually gets killed by the Velociraptor. But sadly, the set was hit by the hurricane, so sadly we didn't get the scene. But there was also going to be Ray Arnold's leg, which Ellie Wolf found as well. Now that we've done the script, hey, what location will we do? Well, Jurassic Park was set in Hawaii, which, by the way, the hurricane attack happened, which I'll get to later eventually. There can't be a Jurassic Park movie without human characters. So, to play Alan Grant, originally Harrison Ford was going to be Alan Grant, but it eventually went on to Sam Neill, who does a great job as Alan Grant. To play Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern got the role. To play Chaos Theorist Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum was offered the role, but it was originally Jim Carrey. Did anyone know that? To play John Hammond, the father of Jurassic Park, Richard Attenborough got the role, and he's great in the role. Unfortunately, Richard Attenborough sadly passed away on August 2014. To play Tim Murphy, Joseph Mazzello got the role. To play Lex Murphy, Ariana Richards got the role. To play Donald Gennaro, or the lawyer, Martin Ferro got the role. Play Ray Arnold, Samuel Jackson got the role. To play Dennis Nedry, Wayne Knight got the role. To play Raptor Hunter, Robert Muldoon, Bob Peck got the role. And sadly, Bob Peck passed away in 1999. And of course we can't forget B.D. Wong playing Henry Wu in the role, even though he's only shown for a few minutes. There was one question though: how will the dinosaurs look, and how will they be real? Well, visual effects would be done by Phil Tippett, who done movies like RoboCop and the Star Wars series, the original ones. He was going to do the special effects for the Jurassic Park movies to make the dinosaurs look real, and they were originally going to be stop motion, just like all the other old dinosaur movies. Phil Tippett made tests and animations for the dinosaurs that we would see in the film, such as the T-Rex and Velociraptor. There was also a weird difference to the Velociraptors, which somehow had tongues coming from their mouths, like lizards. Sadly, Phil Tippett's dinosaurs weren't eventually used on film, but he was a part of the Jurassic production anyway, working on the dinosaurs and how the way they moved. So instead of stop-motion animation, what would they use? It was until Steven Spielberg got a call from Dennis Newman from ILM, who said to Spielberg that he had his dinosaur, and that is in CG. So Spielberg and all the other producers watched the test, and Steven Spielberg loved it, as well as all the other producers. with one line somebody said was, "I think we're extinct." And that would be the line that will be used for Ian Malcolm in the film. Then we move on to the Animatronic Dinosaurs, which were done by Stan Winston, who had known for doing such films as Alien and The Terminator. There were a lot of dinosaurs that were made by animatronics, such as a baby Triceratops that was never used, and the 6 Triceratops that we see in the movie. But there was one beast that was terrifying it all, and that was the giant T-Rex animatronic. This thing was heavy and would be used for the T-Rex breakout scene. However, when the scene was getting shot, rain needed to be used in the film, which wasn't good for the Rex animatronic. The rain would make the animatronic shiver and be very, very cold, which means the team had to use towels to dry the T-Rex and heat dryers. But however, once on lunch break with the cast and crew, the T-Rex went off all by its own. No one was controlling it, which means the T-Rex must have been anomalous. So back when Jurassic Park's production was getting ready, there was one major disaster that was happening back in 1992. And no, it wasn't T-Rex animatronics. It was actually a real-life disaster. And that was the storms and floods that were hitting Hawaii. There would be a hurricane that would hit Hawaii in 1992. Sadly, some of the sets that were used for Jurassic Park were hit by the hurricane, which the sets got sadly abandoned. Of 1993, Jurassic Park wrapped production, and so the film was going to get ready for its premiere on June the 9th, 1993 in Washington, D.C., with the US release date being the 11th of June 1993. And soon trailers will be released, and also other promotional materials for Jurassic Park back then.
Across North America on movie screens, dinosaurs are coming back to life today.
Jurassic Park would be the most talked about movie of 1993, and so many merchandisers want a piece of pie from the franchise. There were toys, video games, and other promotional stuff for the movie. That's right, they patented it, they packaged it, they strapped it in a plastic lunchbox, and now they're selling it. Jurassic Park would become the biggest movie of 1993, making $1.46 billion, and became the highest grossing film until Titanic hit in 1997. Jurassic Park would become one of the most popular movies of 1993, and everyone was in on the dinosaur craze. Jurassic Park had won 3 Academy Awards, mostly for visual effects and technology and sounds, which were, by the way, used by other animals. Jurassic Park would become one of the most popular and classic movies of all time. Even viewing it now, it's very, very special, and is one of the best Steven Spielberg movies alongside Schindler's List and Jaws. So, if you haven't seen this classic film, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's one of the best movies of all time, in my own opinion. Next video, we'll go in depth with The Lost World Jurassic Park.